All right, excuse me. Well, I guess you're here because you want to learn to solve a Rubik's Cube. Now, this method that I'm going to teach here or help you with, guide you with, is a very basic beginner level solve. So it's for basically really anybody that has never turned the cube or would like to learn how, but you need kind of some just very basic instructions. That's the way I like to help, that I will be able to do that. And so I'm going to have cards up with the algorithms and all that good stuff for you, and take it step by step. We'll go slow and methodically, because really this is just a beginner level. And really, I know how it is for beginners when we're just learning and we don't understand all the nuances to solving the cube. So hopefully we can get you to solve a 3x3 if you have one. So a couple things before we start. Again, my little cards will help. Let me put this down here. So a couple things. We're going to do this in a total of 8 steps to solve the cube. I will help you with each step indicated by a card to show you what we're going to do. We're going to solve it one layer at a time. So we're going to solve the bottom layer, the middle layer, and the top layer. All right. And a couple other things, just some, easy basic instruction for people that don't understand the cube, is these center squares, the center, they never change. And why that's important is because the white is always opposite the yellow, the blue is always opposite the green, and the red is always opposite the yellow. And what that does, that helps you determine when the cube is all messed up and you don't know what color a side is. If you just look at its center square, that dictates the color of the side. And once we get ready to start, make sure that we put the cube in the correct position and keep it there. So a couple things for our new people here. So see if I can do this. I know it's kind of not as great and fancy setup, but hopefully you'll get an idea. The Rubik's Cube moves in 2 directions, either clockwise or counterclockwise. When it's a counterclockwise move, maybe a lot of people, you'll hear use the word prime. Prime is just another word for counterclockwise or reverse. So the one way to look at this is when you see an algorithm written, when you see a letter with an apostrophe next to it, that means it is a prime move or a counterclockwise move. So that would be right counterclockwise. But you'll hear me say right prime, and so on, left, up, and front. We're only going to use those 4 for this solve. On the clockwise manner, if it's just a right, if I just say right, that's a clockwise move, and so on, left, up, and front. So a couple things to start here. Again, just basics for our new people that are just understanding the cube. Of course, this is the right-hand side of the cube. This is the left-hand side of the cube. Get that out of the way. This is the up layer, and this is the front. So if I say right, of course, you're going to move it this way, because if you look at it, it's moving in a clockwise manner. If I say right prime, which means right counterclockwise, you will move it this way. Of course, if you look at the side, because it's moving counterclockwise. If I say left, it's this way. No, that is not backwards, because if you look at the side, you see how it's moving in a clockwise manner. If I say left prime, it's this way, because that is a counterclockwise move. And then if it's up, of course it's clockwise. And if it's up prime, it's counterclockwise. And then front and front prime. All right, so those are just some kind of the just basics to get us started, so you understand, because really this is geared and really focused on beginners of what we're trying to do here. So what we're going to do, the first step, just go ahead and mess up your cube. It might already be messed. It might already be messed up. That's okay. Let me just mess this up real quick. Hopefully quick, I say that. But what we're going to do, the first step is a daisy. So just what you'd think about as a daisy flower, if anybody knows what that is. That's what we're going to do. All right, so here we go. So first and foremost, for the entirety of this solve, for all 8 steps, what you're going to make sure and do is this yellow center square always stays on top. So if you move the cube around, you drop it, and you don't know your place, if you keep this center yellow, then you'll always understand where you are on the cube. All right, so the first step we're going to do is the daisy. And all we're going to concern ourselves with are these 4 middle pieces right here. And we're just going to put a white there, a white there, a white there, a white there. That's all we're going to do. Now, as you can see, there's no algorithm or anything like that because there is none. It's very intuitive. All you're going to do is just move these middle pieces just up to where they belong around the yellow. So you can look around your cube and find the middle whites and just decide to pick one and go with it. So I have one right here. So I'm just going to rotate it up here. I look around for another one. Here's one. I'm just going to rotate it to the top like this. So here's one, and then I have one on the bottom. So I want it to go up there. So all I'm going to do is just rotate it all the way to the top. As such. And then my last one. Now, if you have one like this, that's at the, it's going to be facing you, but if it's at the top or at the bottom, either or, and you're wanting to put it on top, all you're going to do is make a quarter turn either way. You're just going to move this white to here or to here, just like this. If it was on the bottom, it'd be the same thing. You're just going to put it on its side. Now you can rotate it to the top. However, in this scenario, you see that there's a white that's already there. If I move that up, it's going to kick that white, kick this white out. So all you want to do is just rotate this top level to put an empty spot in a non-white square right there. Now you can rotate this up. So again, we're not concerned about what color our corners are. If you have something that looks like this, you are done with step 1, and that is the daisy. All right, so now we're on to step 2. Step 2 is the white cross. So since we know the white side is opposite the yellow side, that means the white cross is going to end up on the bottom. So with this method, there's a lot of color matching, which makes it simple and not a lot of algorithms. So all you're going to do first is find you a white petal of your daisy that's on top. You're going to look at the side color. Mine happens to be orange. All I'm going to do, or you're going to do as well, is just rotate to match this with its center square. The best way to do that is just hold this top level and rotate these bottom 2 layers like this until your colors match. Mine already, match. So now all I'm going to do is put this white on the bottom. So you can rotate it either direction and then just put the white on the bottom like that. And you're gonna do that 3 more times for the 3 whites. So I have red. I'm just gonna match the red. They match. White, put it on the bottom. Rotate the cube. My next white's blue, so I'm gonna match it with the blue. They match. Put the white on the bottom. Rotate the cube. It's green, match it with its green center. They match. Put the white on the bottom. Now we do not have any more of our 4 white, middles that we had for the daisy. But if you look at the bottom, again, we're not concerned with the corners. You have a white cross. When you have a white cross and they match on the side with the middle, with the center, you're done with step 2, and that is the white cross.